all
well, that got all fucked up.
No, it's
Thanks,
the right
Restream.
It's in the right place.
Thanks, Restream.
Wait a minute.
I'm so lost right now. What's going on, guys?
Restream updated and fucked everything up.
That's fantastic.
We've been here for 2 minutes. Did that whole thing play?
I think so.
It seemed like it did, but no, kind of. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think it did.
This shit's ridiculous.
I don't think he did.
Anyway, we should try it one more time. Wait, we gotta get this is a new one. So we gotta try this one more time. So we gotta do this shit.
Wait, what?
Like when Restream refucks us.
Wait,
there we go.
Aren't we live?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
Much better.
Yes.
Maybe it worked.
Welcome to the
Yay,
store.
it worked.
Again.
Take 2. Success.
Sorry, our software just went berserk.
They like
Everything's going berserk
They fucking with the cell phones.
because it's election night, so everything's going berserk. But
That's
here we
right.
are. Yes, yes, everything. This is the Video Store Clerks Podcast. It is election night here in America, and we're joining you guys live. We will have continuous coverage of said election, even though I'm sure a winner obviously won't be decided within the next hour or so, but still, we'll keep you updated nonetheless. And we will also be talking about the 1983, going back a little further, 1983, the Dead Zone. Ooh.
Very nice. Very nice.
Anyway, we are your clerks. We'll be with you tonight. I am Dave.
Chad, man.
I am Representative Mike Leisure from the great state of Maryland.
Oh, shit.
He's serious.
I'm Chuck Nasty. Not as serious.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So, yeah, it'll be a fun night. But before we get started, we have to acknowledge something as our little channel hit a milestone just the other night on November 1st, I believe. It was the day after Halloween. We hit 500 subscribers. So we wanted to say thank you all. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. Or if you subscribed a long time ago, back when we made those stupid video game videos a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, we thank you. And I can't tell who the 500 subscriber was. If you're out there, please let us know. Let us know if you're number 500. Because
hit the comment.
Yeah. Shoot us a comment or whatever, because we definitely like to give you a shout out. We're actually up to 502 now.
Yep.
How about them apples? So let's get to 1,000, brother. Let's get to 1,000. Let's keep the train rolling. All right. So now let's get this party started, and we will get this party started as we always do, and that is with the news.
We're coming live. We've got a news update. News update for you.
You got nothing to fucking do. Watch us after the game.
We're working hard for you.
I would watch that news show.
Hell yeah.
Very easily watch that news show. That was good. That was good.
All right, let's kick it off with the top 10. These are your top 10 domestic box office totals over this past weekend. Mike, Representative Lazier.
Yes. I'm getting word in my ear that just moments ago, the state of Colorado was called for Kamala Harris. That's 10 electoral votes from the state of Colorado for Kamala Harris.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. We'll keep those updates coming.
Yes.
All through the night.
Thank you.
But let's get started with your top 10. Top 10 domestic box office
Top
totals.
10.
I don't think anybody went to the movies last weekend, but
I don't know. Number 10 is Beetlejuice, barely hanging on, doing $2 million, putting its 9-week release up to $292 million.
Still
Not
some
too
people-
shabby.
Still some
I'm gonna
people
butcher
live in
these next
nostalgia.
two. What's that?
I said a bunch of people who still haven't gotten to live their nostalgia yet. That's what they're waiting
I
on.
don't know. I'm over it.
I'm-
Number 9, Sing 'Em Again.
What?
First week out did $2.1 million. I have no idea what that is.
sing them a who?
Yes, again. Number 8. I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this. Bulaya 3, Part 3. So there's 2 other Bulayas out there. First week out, $2.2 million.
Is it like
Again.
Bollywood shit or something?
I'm assuming.
Okay, good.
But if
I mean,
I assume, I'm usually wrong. So we'll go with that.
okie dokie.
Number 7 is Terrifier 3. Hanging on.
Hell yeah.
Making records, making money. Fuck yeah. 3.2 mil this week, putting its 4-week release to $50.5 million. The largest any independent non-rated movie has ever made. Number 6, We Live in Time, doing $3.4 million. With 4 weeks coming out is $17.7 million. And first week out at number 5 is the movie Here, doing $4.8 million. Here.
Is a
Right
sequel
now.
there?
Maybe.
And everywhere.
Everywhere. So that's gonna be a trilogy. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
That's the new film with Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah. Tom Hanks is
Nah.
an asshole. Fuck him.
Where
Anyway.
he's looking all younger, digitally
Yeah.
modified.
Yeah.
Yay.
Another
The good
sad
stuff.
movie.
The de-aging process. Kind of love it.
I want the Burbs too.
I do too.
I don't even care. I just
don't
want to
either.
enjoy it again.
Right?
Yeah. Like his best movie.
That'd be great. Number 4, Conclave, doing 1.5 million this week, putting its 2 weeks up to 15 mil total. With number 3 being Chuck's favorite Smile 2. 6.7 mil this week, putting its 3-week release up to $52.5 million.
Overrated.
Fact.
garbage.
Number
Before you go any further, interesting fact, I saw that they were doing a promotion where they were showing the first 7 minutes of the film for free online. But the catch was whenever you went to the site, in order to be able to watch it continuously, you had to have your camera on and have to be smiling the entire time. This is true. I'm not making this up. So if you're watching it, you're smiling, and then if the camera detects that you are not smiling anymore, it stops the video. So very interesting.
A+ for marketing, both those movies.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
Just-
they were only
and
good.
So the camera is like it knows when you're not smiling, and it will
Yes.
just shut.
It's like Santa Claus.
Nothing scary as fuck about that at all, folks.
No, it's just facial recognition technology, and if you're smiling, the video plays. If you're not smiling, the video stops. So very interesting, and another promotional tool, as you mentioned, David.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Well, that being said,
surprise, I was not.
that's nothing.
Surprise, I was not smiling at all.
That is a surprise. You're always smiling. Number 2, The Wild Robot, doing 7.4 mil this week, doing 121 in the last 6 weeks. And the number 1 holds on with Venom, The Last Dance, doing 25.8 this week, putting it up to 89.9 million.
Hey, can you all hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
So what? That 80-some million? That's not so good, actually.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Uh,
All right, shit out.
What is the budget? Let's take a look.
The budget.
had to have been
Take a look
150 in that 150, 200.
120 million.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're close.
In other news, Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones, yes, legendary music, film and music composer, passed away at age 91. He hung in there though, but still, was a legend. Pretty much
A very storied career.
Yes.
If you analyze music and you look at the career of Michael Jackson, you cannot say without mentioning Quincy Jones. He's the one that put up some of the biggest hits of Michael Jackson, along with Leslie Gore and many others. So a musical icon.
Yeah, you'll see the name Quincy Jones in the credits a lot.
And for all we know, he was never at a Diddy party.
Purely
He didn't exhale.
Rashida Jones's father, by the way. A lot of people don't know that, oddly enough.
In other news, our friend Kevin Bacon. Kevin
friend.
Bacon is bringing him along with himself. He's bringing his whole family along for an all-new horror comedy titled Family Movie. That's right. His wife and kids will be in this.
Sounds like a terrible title.
Wonder if that'll change over time. I would think so.
I would hope so.
Oh, and here's some good news for you, Chuck. Black Phone 2 has started filming.
Why do you do it to me? Like you're not understanding. No, I don't care. Like I saw a post about Black Phone 2 like a day or so ago. People were all excited about it, but like half the people were like, "Well, the first one wasn't that good. The first one sucked." I know. I'm like, yeah, it's Smile all over again.
They're actually doing a spin-off called Bat Phone 2, where there's some young children trapped in the Bat Cave. I'm not sure where that's going.
I bet that would be more interesting to
I
watch.
would actually pay to see that.
I would too, probably.
That'd be good.
What a weird thing to say, but yeah.
Commissioner Gordon. The bat phone's ringing. Where's the children?
Bruce has lost his mind.
And that's enough of the news.
He said, "Fuck it, I give up."
In case you wondered, our battleground states are too early to call. It's a close race with Harris having 37 million votes and Trump at 42 million.
I repeat. Wait, I have never said it, but I'm going to say it. The Associated Press has not called this race yet. I repeat. Now I can say it. The Associated Press has not called this race as of yet.
Yes. The Senate is very close, or excuse me, the Republicans are very close to winning the Senate. 43 out of 50. So, there's your update.
Woo.
But we will not. I will stress we will not be talking politics at all. We will not be talking politics at all.
I really don't want to. I haven't really been on Facebook all day because I just don't care. And that's the first thing I saw when I got on there earlier, and I was like, "Oh, every fucking post." I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So.
We're simply reading results because it is election night. That's all.
Election.
We're keeping the American people informed because you are our audience and we love you.
That's it. Mwah. All right, on to the dead zone.
I was going to say, as far as the news goes, I was going to add on. We're mentioning something. I saw some pictures of a new. What was it? Is it a film? Some kind of film or show, or I don't know what if it's a documentary or something. But it's called Waltzing with Brando. Had you seen this?
Yeah, and I saw a picture of Billy Zane.
Billy Zane as Marlon Brando.
Insane. Yeah.
Uncanny.
Huh.
All right.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's that it's one of the famous shots from the Godfather movie where Marlon Brando's just sitting there and Billy Zane is like you can't tell the difference. Unless somebody told you that was Billy Zane as Brando, you wouldn't know.
He's going from critters to fucking Brando. Not
He's one person at Scarefest I wish I would have met.
Oh, here it is.
There you go.
Look at that.
Billy Zane on the left, Marlon Brando on the right. Uncanny. It's very, very impressive.
That is good.
That's awesome.
So I'm very curious to see
more movies.
You mentioned Billy Zane too.
Very curious to see how that turns out. Waltzing with Brando is what it's called. I don't know if there's
there
a
a release
date.
date for that?
It's a biopic actually,
Yeah.
and I don't see a release date as of right yet. Forthcoming.
I'd love to see
we'll
that,
keep
though.
you updated.
Always keep you updated here. Always keep you updated here. But yeah, really impressive.
Oh wait, excuse me.
okay.
I hate to interrupt, David, but I'm getting word right now. Just a moments ago, the District of Columbia, Washington D.C., was called for Kamala Harris. That's 3 electoral votes from the District of Columbia for Kamala Harris.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, now on to the dead zone, man. Restream. You got me all flustered after that bullshit earlier.
Yeah,
Just so you know, you got me all flustered now.
flustered.
Fucked him up, man. Fucked him up.
Okay, so this was my first time watching this movie, believe it or not.
That's so funny.
It may have been mine also. I don't remember, but I remember bits and parts. So I don't know if I just watched a Christopher Walken compilation and just seen bits and pieces from it or what.
I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure it was my first viewing as well, because if I did see this, it was so long ago that I don't remember hardly anything. So I'm guessing that I hadn't seen it before either.
So
That is hilarious to me.
Chuck
hilarious.
carries on this one.
I mean, it's a Stephen King movie. So, I mean, growing up, like after seeing Pet Sematary, I was like, I got to see every Stephen King adaptation. And yeah, so I've seen them all. It's been a long time since I've seen Dead Zone. But yeah, it's actually I actually have a lot of fun watching it because it's not boring. It doesn't give you a chance to be boring because something happens in every scene. It's like
That was a good
crazy.
movie. I'll give you that. Very good.
Yeah.
Fast movie. What was it, like an hour and 20 minutes or something? Hour and
Something like
23?
that.
I think it was an hour and 40 actually.
Was it long?
I think it was like that.
Was it 40?
It's something, whatever.
Now the film I wasn't familiar with. I did know about the Dead Zone series from 2002 with Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
And that was on USA, wasn't it? I think it ran for a really long time. I don't know how many seasons, but it
6
ran
seasons.
For a while. Six seasons.
Yes.
That's a lot here in
That shit
America.
was on.
And I believe all 6 seasons are free on YouTube, if I saw earlier correctly. So if you're interested, you can go check those out.
I've seen a couple of episodes back when it was first on, but I don't know. After the Halloween shit, I don't really want to see that guy.
Oh, come on.
Evil
Dies Tonight.
Shut the fuck up. Stupidest fucking like thing made like I don't know trendy
that's
out of a
the thing.
fucking movie.
See, when you see Anthony Michael Hall, you think Evil Dies Tonight. When I see Anthony Michael Hall, I think Weird Science.
Yeah.
I think Weird Science.
yeah.
I think Breakfast Club. I think National Lampoon's Vacation, 16 Candles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. That's fine. That's the younger him. It's the older him I have an issue with.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. He
He
just
was
kind of
the chief on site for 3 episodes.
Yes.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
well.
And oddly enough, he's in a movie called Trigger Warning. So looks like he's triggered you, Chuck.
Oh, we forgot to get popcorn.
Oh yeah.
We anticipated a Stephen King argument or debate. Debate, I should say.
Debate. A master debate.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of
Okay,
debating
right.
here. No,
Oh, he had a
actual
bucket of chicken.
arguments.
Hey, Colonel Sanders.
What's the matter?
Which speaking of Billy Zane, that was the last time I saw him act in something. Was when he was Colonel
You are
Sanders.
so weird.
Billy Zane and what?
Billy Zane was Colonel Sanders in the KFC commercial a while back.
Really? I'm gonna have to look that
Yeah.
up. I did not know that.
Is there a lag on my voice or anything?
No,
No, you're fine.
Okay, just making
not
sure.
on our end anyway, but maybe on the stream. You know how that works.
Yeah, there's a few. They had a few different people playing Colonel Sanders, and he was one of them. And it shocked me because I hadn't seen Billy Zane in forever, and I was like, "Is he really playing?" Okay, I'll go with it. That's cool. Demon Knight's one of my favorites.
Yes, and you see the little picture there in our background, a very young Christopher Walken.
Very young.
Yes, I didn't realize that, like at first, but I haven't seen very many of young Christopher Walken. Communion, I think, is the only other movie I saw of his.
I said The Prophecy.
Back in those days.
Well, I was thinking about this earlier, and I was like, Deer Hunter. My first memories of Chris Walken wasn't like Deer Hunter or this, obviously, because I hadn't seen it. But Batman Returns,
Oh,
Max
yeah.
Schreck
Oh,
Max-
yeah.
as Max Schreck, and then going on into Wayne's World 2, and then what else was it? Like you said, Chad, The Prophecy, and then Pulp Fiction, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a watch up his ass.
Minor role, but still, that was my first impressions of Christopher Walken. I hadn't seen Deer Hunter yet at that age, or this film, or he's been in a few others, but like I said, Deer Hunter and probably this are the bigger ones.
Yeah,
before
I
he
saw
broke out.
Communion years later, but the first movie I remember seeing him in was Batman Returns,
Balls of Fury.
because he was actually in the
That's
opening
yeah.
credits. And
Yeah.
I was like, Christopher Walken, who's that? Then I found out.
7 Psychopaths. Balls of Fury. Good shit.
What's that music video he was in that he was dancing all the time?
Was it Fat Boy Slim? Was it a
That
Fat Boy
sounds
Slim
right.
song? He's all dancing to the whole thing. Yeah, that's good shit.
In the one of the rare, actually funny SNL sketches where he asked for more cowbell.
Oh,
I need
well,
more
yeah.
cowbell.
He was Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden.
That was actually pretty funny.
Well, I also liked his where he's the guy in the hotel room, the SNL skit, and he's like champagne. He's trying to be all smooth.
Champagne.
I can't remember what the fuck
Champagne.
it's called. Yeah,
I don't.
Is that the one where the whole sketch is a POV of?
yeah.
Yeah, I know
He's
which one
like-
you're talking about.
he's
though.
trying- He's like, "Don't worry, it's fine. Come back." The Foo Fighters.
Is Lem and Joe Dierte.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Joe Dierte.
That's one. He has one of my favorite lines from that film where he goes, "Does your mother sew?" Bam! Get her to sew that.
What was the movie with The Rock and Sean William Scott?
Rundown.
The Rundown. Yeah, that's right. Oh no, we're just spouting all
Mr.
Christopher
Beck.
Walken movies.
The dad in Wedding Crashers.
Oh, yeah. He was the senator or whatever.
He was also
Another
the dad.
senator movie is this
that,
one.
Yeah, should have did that.
He
one.
was the dad in that Brendan Fraser movie too, about Blast from the Past or whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've seen
that
that
was
one.
that. Yeah, there's kind of the downhill of some of his. That's when everybody was like, "Oh, Chris Walken's crazy," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm nuts," and he just goes with it. And there's been a lot of weird things that have been said about Christopher Walken. I think Mel Gibson was it Mel Gibson that said in an interview a while back when he first met him, like he pretty much just like floated through a whole group of people, like he was at one end of the building and then immediately was at the other end, like alluding to him being a fucking vampire or something. And I'm like, I believe it. I mean, his hair is about like Bram Stoker's Dracula now, so I mean, it's always up, gray, looks crazy,
Of course,
Crazy.
we've talked about
Crazy.
it on the show in the past. True Romance.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Oh, duh.
Duh.
Where is young Clarence?
But this, I don't know if this the Dead Zone almost felt like two different movies to me, kind of.
Yeah. I can see that.
And by the way, after he gets into the car crash, that is the nicest hospital I've ever seen in my life. Was there a fireplace in his fucking room?
I think
I don't know.
I think he was at home.
Was it at home?
Was it-
I just thought it was a hospital. Was he getting? So he was getting like home care or whatever. Okay,
That's what I
Well,
thought.
he got moved to the clinic. At first, he was in the hospital. She comes in and sees him. He's all, and then he got moved to that clinic where that's where he wakes up and there's no, he doesn't have the bandages or anything. He's like, not a scratch. Surprise, fuckhead! You've been in coma for 5 years.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, okay.
You've been asleep.
That makes a lot more sense.
You've healed, but your legs, they don't work so well.
I must have missed that part. So I was going to say, damn, there's no like noise. There's no intercom. There's no nothing. Where is this hospital? I must attend it.
It's around.
In the New England area, I'm sure, with Stephen King.
Oh, Castle Rock.
Oh, of course.
Castle Rock, indeed.
That was a
He
good
doesn't
show.
even live there anymore. In Maine.
The
Good
rain in Maine stays. Wait, no.
Yeah. You're talking about fictional. I was talking about reality. Sorry, it happens. He doesn't live up in Bangor anymore for some fucking reason. Whatever. Moving on.
Bangor.
Bangor. Whatever.
What's funny though, like, I forgot what this movie was even about. Like I didn't read anything about it. I just turned it on. So then he's just laying there in fucking the hospital bed and looks over and sees that little girl screaming because the house is on fire. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Casey!
You little
Pistol
girl.
time, go. Yeah.
That'll
That's
be
the
some
first time
crazy
he
shit,
gets that,
though.
isn't it?
I saw the name of this film and I thought, hey, this guy's just getting bad cell reception. He's in a dead zone.
Boy.
With the Zach Morris phone.
Yes, because Senator Stillman was his name, right?
Yeah,
I
correct.
remember. I watched this movie 2 days ago. You know how.
Oh, Martin Sheen.
Well, the thing about this movie though is, and why like it made sense to like do it tonight, was because in recent times, people have said that there's a lot of similarities behind the book and the film and reality that has happened. There's even, I watched a whole thing on it the other day. If you look up Stephen King Dead Zone, there's some kind of like, there's an interview with him and he's talking about the different things that happen in the dead zone, and then he talks about things that happen in reality, like, you know, and the book was written in fucking the 70s or 80s or some shit like that, I think.
79, I believe.
So it's kind of weird, and just, you know, kind of makes sense with a few things. But continue now. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, hardcover was the first time he had gone to #1 on bestsellers. He had mentioned the Dead Zone.
Oh, really?
Was his first #1 bestseller.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, I don't think I've ever read the book. I've got the book, but I've never read it.
So between 79 and I guess they sold the movie rights fairly quickly. I did see that there was quite a few scripts, and Stephen King actually wrote one of them. And one of the producers said that Stephen King's version was by far the worst.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Hey, I wrote the film adaptation of, like, I figured I'd just go ahead and write it since it's my book that you're, you know. We're sorry, Stephen. We're gonna go with someone else that just, we like his ideas of your ideas better than you. We're sorry. Like, I wonder how bad it honestly was, but Stephen King also said he won't write another like script again, though. Like, he won't do that shit again. So
Since then,
or directing, he won't direct it, and he won't do, or maybe he has written scripts for other ones too. But so he doesn't really care. He doesn't really like the process of like the movie business and shit, basically. So.
Yeah, they had said that the rights had been bought up by Lord, and they had tried to get a couple of people to get on to direct it. They tried to develop the script, and it just didn't end up going anywhere. And then they had some financial troubles, and that's when Dino, I don't even know how you pronounce this, De Laurentiis,
yeah.
De Laurentiis, I believe, He's the one who stepped in, and you see his name in the opening title there, and he's the one that put everything together. Guy Cronenberg on board.
And one of the one of the first picks to play the Christopher Walken role was Bill Murray.
That was Stephen King's choice.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That would have been.
I wonder why. So this would have been before Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So Stephen King wanted Bill Murray, and then the other ones that were considered for the role of Johnny Smith were Al Pacino, Richard Gere, and Robert De Niro.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
God, all
I
four of them
haven't seen a lot of those guys.
different movies. All four of them.
I know Cronenberg wanted to change the name of his character because he was like, that just sounds made up.
Yeah, he said I would never name
it
it
kinda does.
Johnny Smith or John Smith.
I totally forgot that Cronenberg had anything to do with this movie until I
His
watched
name
it.
popped
last
up
time.
at the very beginning.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And Tom
John-
Skerritt's
oh.
only in it for a second.
Sheriff Scary.
Yeah,
Sheriff
Yeah.
Scared. Sheriff
he's good
Scared.
at playing those roles. I think when it comes down to the possible people that could have played this, out of all the ones that were named, I could see Pacino doing it. I could see Pacino doing a role like this. De Niro, not so much. Man, Murray would be interesting, but then it's basically what Groundhog Day, like before Groundhog Day. Like I don't know.
I guess Walken finally won the Russian roulette game to get this over De Niro.
Yeah, weird. I mean, you see, like, What About Bob and stuff like that. I mean, I don't.
That was a Deer Hunter reference. For those out there,
Yeah, for those younger folks,
the uninitiated.
Yeah.
that movie's traumatizing.
Oh, and a quick update. The race is still close with Harris 41 million votes and Trump 46 million votes.
How long is this shit going on anyway?
Days.
Days, yeah.
Terrible.
I just can't wait for it to be over. Moving on. So, for those that have not seen The Dead Zone or have no idea what it's about, dude gets in a car accident, and then after waking up 5 years from being in a coma, he has this certain gift that if he, touches somebody's hand or an item or whatever, he can.
He gets smashed by a milk tanker.
I mean, I just don't. It's really weird because they never really explain. It was just a freak accident that happened.
Gentlemen, I beg your pardon. I am just getting word. We have breaking news. The state of Iowa has been called for Donald Trump. 6 electoral votes in the state of Iowa for Donald Trump. Please continue.
But yeah. So, what the fuck was I saying?
Milk truck.
Milk truck.
Got
Yeah.
in an accident and got powers.
Yeah. But yeah, so he wakes up 5 years later and all this shit. They don't ever explain why he ends up having these abilities, but it's made known that he has his abilities because he tells his nurse that because he can see the little girl in the room, the flames and everything. And he saves the day pretty much. And then so he people were kind of testing him. They do a whole TV thing where they have him on there like for the news and shit. And I actually really like that scene because one of the news reporters who's hassling him is testing him on it. He's like, here, and then like so he grabs his hand and he's like, do you want to know why your sister unalived herself? And I don't know how if you all whatever the fuck. People are weird.
I thought
and he's like, okay, I get it now. And he's trying to pull back. He's like, no. He's just kind of like, whoa.
He's like, you fucking freak.
Yeah. Like, it's, yeah. So there's the gist of it. Dude can see shit, whatever, in case anybody hadn't.
He gets the gift.
Go ahead.
I was just saying he gets the gift or the curse of second sight, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. No, I thought Dr. Wiesek or whatever said that the accident altered a part of his brain to where I don't know, he could see into the future or see some dumb shit. I don't know. It was something weird. Like, he briefly went over it, but barely.
I think in the idea that Stephen King had in mind was basically that there were back then the study had came out and people believed that humans didn't use all of their brain. There was a large percentage of the brain that wasn't used. So his idea was that in this wreck, somehow Johnny Smith would have to start using his brain in a different way, and he would be accessing parts of the brain that he previously didn't use, that other people didn't use, in order to have psychic abilities.
Johnny Smith really is a bad name. That really is a horror. I didn't until that was mentioned. Like, yeah. The more I think about it, that is just a very.
Should we call him John Doe?
I was just thinking that.
John Doe has the upper hand.
John Jacob Jingley Smith.
What's in the box?
Jingle.
So then later he meets the senator. Stillman was his name, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting way ahead of yourself.
Yeah, that's way down the road.
Was it? Did I space out during the whole movie?
Maybe.
Well, because he, after
you
the little girl thing and the situation, he ends up, he touches his doctor or whatever, and like finds out that he. Hey, now, calm down, boys.
I definitely missed that part.
Now it's my turn, Doc. Yay!
Babar.
And finds out that and when he was like, I guess in World War II or whatever, his mom was separated from him, and he always thought she was dead, and he couldn't find out she wasn't. And sorry. And then he ends up, because he ends up meeting the guy. Guy comes to he's doing teaching and stuff for kids because he moved. I'm all over the place too. My bad, guys. Shit. But like, so he moves to another town to get away from everybody. And he is that before? That's after the fucking murder, isn't it? The murderer shit.
It's about the same. The murders were going on while he was in the coma.
Right, but the whole thing with like Scarrett and his partner.
So yeah, he's still at home with his dad. It's like Christmas time. His mother had just passed away, and Sheriff Scarrett, if you will, shows up at the house. He's looking for some kind of assistance on this case. He has no leads. You got this Castle Rock killer, and they just want some kind of help. And he saw Johnny on the news, and he said, "Hey, maybe he can help." And he goes to his house for help. He asks him for help, and he's like, "No, I don't want anything to do with that. This thing has been a curse to me. All right, it's not a gift. All right, I lost my woman. She's married. She has a kid now. I lost my job. I want nothing to do with it."
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
I stood there and I watched. I couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
I didn't stop him.
Yeah.
I
forgot about the girlfriend.
You forgot about kitties?
Shows up in his house with her kid.
Oh yeah, that was weird. That wasn't titties.
That was the
Jimmy
titties.
No.
Yeah, Brooke Adams played his girlfriend Sarah. So we see at the beginning of the film, he's a teacher, which oddly enough, Stephen King was a teacher before he got into writing. So,
well, no, he was a writer his whole life. He was just a teacher before he published a book.
Before he got into professional writing,
he was a writer regardless.
Lies.
That's professional. Yes, yeah, and and he told a bunch of lies.
What are you talking about? Fucking lies.
We'll get to that later.
I'm sick of that shit. Go on.
Stephen King was a teacher, and Johnny Smith is a teacher as well, and he's teaching his class about Edgar Allan Poe. They're talking about The Raven, Nevermore, and then he gives them the assignment of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which ironically Later, Chris wanted to play the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. So
I actually like that movie.
Crazy how that works. And then, his girlfriend's a teacher, and they go and they have a night. Well, they go out to have a nice day, right? And they get on the fucking roller coaster. They get on the roller coaster, and then something weird happens. This is the question I pose to you, gentlemen. Okay, when Johnny and Sarah are on the roller coaster, something happens. He has I don't know, some kind of twitch, some kind of weird thing that happens. Does that instance is when he receives the stuff in his brain, the premonitions or whatever, the gift, the ability, or is it the car wreck?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too, because before the car wreck, he starts having the thing on the roller coaster.
It's because they went up to 88 miles an hour and he went back to the future.
The only thing the car wreck does is put him in a coma for 5 years. So maybe he's on the roller coaster and gets something happens. I think that might be when the catalyst for the visions, for the psychic phenomenon.
Maybe it was a combo.
Right.
The 1-2 punch.
I like combos. Nacho cheese.
My favorite too.
So there's two glues that if you don't get them all at once, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that.
Gentlemen, I am getting word right now. Yes. The has been called for Kamala Harris. Yes, Kamala Harris has received 1 of 4 electoral votes in the state of Maine. That's a split, so there's more to come. But she has received 1 of those electoral votes. Please continue.
Okay.
The one thing that was crazy, like once they figured out that Dodds, the other cop, was the one killing all these people, and then they go to arrest him, it takes fucking Scarrett like 15 minutes to get up the steps.
That was the worst arrest I've ever seen.
Right. That's what I was saying. I'm like, what the
creepy
fuck?
ass house too.
I'm like, then you got fucking his mom in the other room stealing his fucking revolver from his gun holster, and then she fucking pops Christopher Walken on the side or whatever.
What? Yeah. He fucking held her hand. He didn't see that coming.
Right. Danger, Will Robinson.
You know.
I was waiting for him to just kind of be like, oh, I knew you were going to do that.
He fucking Matrix that shit.
Yeah.
When fucking Scarrett puts one right in her chest.
You knew. You knew. That's what he says to the mother. You knew. Because she knew her son was up to no good.
He was a motivating bastard.
And let me go through. What a way to kill yourself too.
Right?
When he's in the fucking, and then he got the scissors and he's going inside. But when they see him, like the way that he did it and the way that the scissors are hanging out of his mouth, it doesn't make sense. Because he didn't go far enough for it to really like, I mean, it hurt like a son of a bitch and he would have a slow bleeding out death, but like not, I don't know about that end that quick. He'd be more better off if he would have, right there in the middle.
He sets his scissors up, holding them up with like his hamper or whatever. And I'm like, bro, you got one shot to not fuck this up. Because if you fuck this up,
you got one shot.
I'm like, you got to be in a lot of pain here in about fucking 2 seconds if you fuck this up.
That's not mom's spaghetti.
Hey, you calm down.
I need to start watching these movies the day of. I forgot about half this shit.
That scene was great, though.
So that's like one movie, kind of.
Yes, that's like a chapter almost. Like, whenever they go on to make the TV series, it makes more sense because you can kind of stretch that and elaborate and kind of do more with it. Like you said, it feels like, okay, the first half we're looking for this Castle Rock killer, and then the second half you're dealing with Stillman. So
senatorial election.
Yes, he's running for senator.
Would you rather the whole movie be about the Castle Rock killer instead? Or would it be too Silence of the Lambs-ish? Well, this was way before Silence of the Lambs.
Well, I mean, they already caught the killer.
I think, oddly enough, I'll get to it later. Well, let's continue, but I have ideas that I want to elaborate on.
Hollywood, it depends. Pen paper out.
Get your pens because it's gonna be fucking juicy.
Get your pins because it's gonna.
Yeah, because after that's whenever he goes, where does he go? That one guy's house or whatever. He starts tutoring the dude's kid or whatever.
Oh,
and then that's whenever he first runs into Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
And am I jumping too far ahead because he shakes his hand at a rally? Right?
That's way later.
Okay,
that's
later.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, the deal with the dad is he's a rich asshole that his kid is not what he wants him to be, basically, and he thinks that there's something wrong with him, and he offers like Christopher Walken this, that, and the other and shit, and he ends up actually kind of like, having a little bit of rapport with this kid and like, kind of becoming friends with him and kind of get him out of his shell a little bit, and then he has a. What is it? Oh, he shakes the kid's hand or something, and because like the dad is like this whole hockey thing that he's doing with his kid, and he ends up touching the kid, and he's like, hey, like he's like shakes his hand, whatever the hell, and he's like, he sees that there's a drowning or something, and like yeah, and he tells the dad, he's like, you got to stop this, like it's you're gonna kill your own kid, like this is and the guy's like, all right, whatever, but like you get the fuck out of my house, I never want to see you again. And like, he ends up finding out, like he sees in a paper that, the ice broke and
2 kids drowned.
2 kids drowned, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But he didn't know. He didn't know who the kids were. That's why he gets on the phone and calls up the house and hears the young boy that, all right, he did a good thing. But I'm sitting there thinking, why did he go save 2 other fucking kids? Like, fuck them.
Right.
It's like, don't play hockey today. The ice is not thick enough. Your pond is fucked.
Okay, so he just saved that one kid. All the other kids died?
No, just 2 died.
2 others.
Well, 2 just
still.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
I wouldn't put Jack on that, but yeah.
Those kids were just
2 of them.
They're just extras.
They weren't even in the credits. They were not on board.
Kid. I got dead kid in the dead zone.
So is the rally after that?
What? Yeah, because that's where I had some issues watching.
Yeah, shortly after that.
Okay.
Yeah, the
There's
rally's
bits
definitely
and
after
pieces.
that.
Because fucking his ex and her husband or whatever show up at his house to give him the pamphlets to see if he's going to vote for fucking dude. And then, and then he gets all fucking bummed out because he starts crying and shit. So then, like, the rally's like 2 days after that.
She's still a bitch for showing up with her kid.
Oh yeah, completely. Like her doing that is completely horrible. She's like, we didn't get to have it like this night before, and it's like, you bring your fucking baby here so you can bone this poor guy, like just to fuck his heart up even more just for one time. You fucking cunt. Like, no. Like, fucking stupid. Like, that pissed me off, actually. I was like, God damn it. And of course he's going to go for it. He's in love with this chick. Of course he's going to go for it. Any fucking guy would go for it, no matter if morally they should or not. Like, in that kind of position, you're madly in love with a woman that, I mean, as far as his feelings, even while in a coma, didn't change. They were still from the beginning, but everything happened.
Right.
That's even makes mention of that. He says, look, for you, it's been 5 years. For me, it's like yesterday.
Yeah.
My feelings haven't changed.
And look at my new baby.
He's 10 months old. Oh, congratulations.
What the fuck?
Well, I guess fuck me then.
Because when she first said she had a kid, I thought she was going to say she's 5 years old.
But they didn't even sleep together.
Right.
He said
they're worth waiting for.
I mean, she met a new guy like right after that.
Yeah, that was the problem. Like, he wasn't giving up the dick. So she was like, fuck this guy. How long did she wait?
2 days.
She's still a bitch for showing up with her kid like that.
Yeah, bad move on her part, completely. But what actually? Because like I said, I was watching on a DVD that I've never watched that DVD before, so I didn't think I was gonna have any issues. And then it got around this point to where it was choppy and shit. And then I tried to go find it, and it wasn't working then either. And so I had to watch YouTube clips, and that I know that it skipped a lot of shit. So I'm a little fuzzy. Like what, because he ends up, like what made him go to the rally with the gun? I can't remember that.
He didn't go to the rally with the gun. He, the initial rally is like right across the street from where he's living. And I think he initially wanted to go over there to see her because he knew that she was going to be there supporting Stillman. And so he goes over, and the car pulls up, and then he gets out, and he's walking along, shaking hands with all the rally supporters. And he gets up to walk into Johnny and shakes his hand. And that's when Johnny sees the future of this guy who's going to go on to become president of the United States. And then put themselves in a situation where it's going to be nuclear war. It looks like,
definitely looks that way, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, but like he's a straight asshole though. Like he fucking tells the fucking, I guess, I don't know, like the general or whatever, to fucking put his handprint so he can verify the nuke before the president, and he wouldn't do it. So he's like, I'll fucking get it one way or another if you got it in your hand or if you don't. Like I don't give a fuck. I'll kill you. Like I'm like, oh shit, shit got dark.
Yeah.
So that's when he tries to prevent it, and that's when he takes the rifle.
He talks to the doctor, and then the doctor said he would kill him.
But the Hitler conversation, wasn't it?
Yeah,
if you go back, would you kill Hitler?
Right.
Yeah. So that had him thinking, if I knew it was going to prevent something.
And you got to realize this is 1983. Like, we still got the arms race kind of slowing down at that point. You've got Reagan. You got Gorbachev, and the arms race is slowing down, but it's still on a lot of people's minds. Back then that was a looming threat. Nowadays you don't really sit around and say, are we going to go to a nuclear war or anything like that? Like it's kind of like a back burner issue nowadays. But back then it was a very real possibility. So to them, it's scary. It's like, this guy is going to become president. And then he's just going to go off and shoot the missiles, because this is my destiny, he says. We forgot to mention earlier that Stillman goes into the reporter's office and frames him. He set him up to where the reporter was having an affair on his wife because the reporter had some unkind words about him, and he wanted him to change the perception. So, using his power to manipulate to get further. He even says, I had a vision that I'm going to be president. And then, goes on, and that would have been the case had not Johnny intervened.
That's when he did intervene with the rifle into the, where did he go? And then
it was like a church or some kind of rally. Like,
yeah, it was a different kind of rally. He had to go out of town, and I don't know what kind of bus you're just getting on with a gun wrapped up in a blanket. That doesn't seem suspicious. I mean, it's 1983, so what the fuck do I know? I was 3 years old.
That was my thing too.
I wasn't even born.
Because I was wondering, because he ends up fucking sleeping up top in the balcony all night with a fucking rifle on his lap, and nobody sees this fucking guy.
Yeah, usually they check all that shit. Now they do. Definitely. Back then,
check this place out before he came walking.
Well,
in
it was different because this isn't he's not running for president yet, mind you.
Right.
He's running for a senator seat, and he didn't even have any detail. He just had that guy. I think his name is Sonny. That was his little thug buddy. That's the only security detail he has. So
right.
That's that. But
right,
like we said, Johnny ends up talking to his doctor and says, if you could go back, if you knew what you knew now, and you went back in time, would you kill Hitler? And then the doctor, eventually says, yeah, I'd kill the son of a bitch. And that's where Johnny realized that I got to do something. This is my opportunity to save the world.
He even says, this is one mission you don't come back from, pretty much. He's like, you don't survive that. And he's like, yeah.
We've got breaking news. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on out in the battleground. We got the state of Idaho. The state of Idaho, potatoes, yes, called for Donald Trump 4 electoral votes from the state of Idaho. Also, state of Washington, not Washington, D.C., but the state of Washington, or Seattle, rain. Yeah, the state of Washington has been called for Harris. 12 electoral votes going to Kamala Harris in the state of Washington. Please continue.
I'm celebrating because I guessed right.
Yes,
Not
you
who
did.
won. Not who
Do you have some? Wait, do you have some kind of premonition? How did you know that? How did you know I was going to say
He
that?
fell on his head. He fell on his head and fell asleep for 2 hours. Now he's got powers.
He can see the future, but he doesn't remember the movie.
Pretty much.
Weird.
Yeah, weird power.
That's weird.
I can see into the future, but my short-term memory is fucked.
That's how a lot of Denny's people feel about that too.
Whoa, what?
Hey.
Yeah. So when he's at this place, though, he kind of, I think he kind of gets a lot of what he wants, because I mean, he gets, everybody sees how big of a piece of shit that this guy is, because when he stands up and he's got the gun, immediately
He grabs
Martin
the baby.
Sheen grabs the baby. And Christopher Walken, he puts the gun down, and as soon as he's like clear, he brings it back up, man. Yeah, yeah, and then like he gets fired upon, but it's like it's just
not funny, but it is.
So he indirectly gets what he wants, because he's obviously trying to kill the guy, but it did the job by showing the world how much of a coward and a piece of shit he is. And
then he tells him,
Where's the reporter?
He tells him that it's over because he sees what's going to happen to him. And you had that really depressing scene with like the gun and the magazine and the cigarette burning, and he just picks up the gun and you just see blood all over the magazine and shit. I'm like, oh, that's fucking justice. It's like, it's a happy ending in a lot of ways. And plus, also Johnny was tired of it. It goes back to that being less of a blessing and more of a curse. So like he was able to, save a few more people and know that, okay, I've swayed this. This guy's definitely done. So my time is up.
He said like the headaches were getting worse and shit, so they pretty much figured he's going to get like a tumor and die. Yeah. So I mean, he said, "Fuck it, I'm going out the way I want to go out and stop the world from getting."
The doc was trying to give him some kind of hope. He's like, I think we might be able to stop it or even reverse it, But I mean, nothing was guaranteed.
Lobotomy
Bay. So there you have it. He saved the world. Johnny saved the world. Nobody even knew. Nobody knew.
Well, that was like the perfect send off too.
Johnny?
Like,
why?
Because he even tells like fucking him, he's like, it's over. And then later she comes running up to him and she's like, I love you. And he's like, goodbye. And then the movie ends. And I'm like, see, it's a perfect setup.
Yeah.
So they even tell you the fucking movie's over. They just said goodbye.
Foo Fighters.
It's unbelievable.
But it was crazy because during our werewolf week, I went back and watched was it Werewolf with fucking Joe Estevez, Martin Sheen's brother, and they look fucking identical.
Yeah.
Joe Estevez?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jose.
Well,
No way.
I don't know if I knew about that one.
And in an update for the House and Senate, it definitely looks like the Republicans are going to win the Senate, and they're close to winning the House as well.
The House is a little ways out. I believe AP is reporting 48 seats so far. They just need 51. So we're at 48. Republicans need 51. So we'll see how that goes.
One Senate seat flipped, and 3 House seats have flipped.
Yeah, West Virginia flipped.
I'm just trying to figure out which way I should prepare.
Prepare. All this preparing going on.
I must prepare.
So I know.
Yes, we are.
We've made mention of this being kind of our first time seeing it, Dave and Chad. What are your impressions of this film from your first viewing?
It's a good flick. I got nothing really bad to say about it. Some of the nitpicky things you guys brought up, I didn't even notice, like bringing how did he get the rifle from A to B?
It's little shit, doesn't matter.
But
He wrapped it in a blanket. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a quick watch. It's a fast-paced movie. It's paced well. And of
Sir,
course,
sir,
Christopher Walken. You can't go wrong
Sir.
with Christopher Walken.
sir, what's that in your blanket on the bus? What is that? So it's my pool stick. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. He's got a pull stick, guys. He's got a pull
I'm
stick.
a-
Random
I'm a
pull stick.
pool-
It's okay.
I'm a pool shark. Don't worry about it. You know, it's not a gun.
He said gun on a bus. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like I don't. It's not. It will always be my favorite Stephen King movie adaptation, 1990. I think I'd put Pet Cemetery above Dead Zone.
Oh yeah.
So I guess number 3 on my Stephen King list. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, come on. You're being
Shining
too
count.
you're being too generous.
Does The Shining count?
I mean, The Shining always counts. What do you mean?
Okay, well then, okay.
The
The
Dead
number
Zone
4.
yeah. Chad, what was your thoughts on it, real quick?
No, I liked it. It was fun. Like, I thought it was shot well. It looked good. But, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. I mean,
See,
it's okay, but it's not great. But it was interesting. I had fun with it.
See, to me, this film kind of looked low budget. It kind of looked like it was made for TV, almost. You know, besides the fact, you know, there's some profanity, there's some nudity, there's some bloody murder stuff going on. You could just kind of do a little editing there and throw it on TV. It's, you know, a lot of Stephen King's adaptations, whether they be truthful or lying, are more based for television series, if you will. You know, he writes a lot. He's a big writer, you know, writes a lot of words. So, you know, this one, I don't hear people talk about the Dead Zone very much. It was worth a watch, but there's almost feel like this is the type of film that's prime for remake. I don't know. I haven't watched the series, so I don't know how they kind of followed things up. But definitely you could redo, like we were talking about earlier. So you Hollywood, you got your pen. I got some shit for you. Okay, so like you said, Davis, kind of weave those stories together, even kind of make you think that maybe the guy on Stillson's security team might be the killer. You know, who knows? You kind of weave something together into all that. The thing was, for me, whenever I was, and it kind of felt like Twilight Zone. This gave me Twilight Zone vibes, and my mind going straight to the Twilight Zone. If I'm remaking the Dead Zone in 2024, okay, so whenever Johnny goes to the rally and shakes hands with Still, the key thing that I took away from this film is whenever he's talking to the reporter and he said, I had a vision that I'm going to be president. The thing I would have done if I'm remaking it is that nobody knows, the audience doesn't know that Stillson has the ability as well. And he's been using his powers to become president, as it was been using his powers to kind of help people on a lower level. So whenever Johnny and him shake hands, of course, Johnny sees the future and what he's going to do as president with the nuclear arms. At the same time, Stillson sees that fucking Johnny is going to show up at that rally. So you flip it to where Johnny's at the rally, and the whole time you think Johnny's going to kill him and save the day, but fucking Stillson already knew, because he has the fucking vision, that Johnny's going to be there, and fucking then he goes on to become president. So it's kind of that dark Twilight Zone ending. That's how I would do it different.
I like it.
That'd be a lot better.
It's interesting. Like
The twist.
I don't actually disagree with anything you just said about this movie. This when it comes down to like my tier list of like my favorites of Stephen King movie adaptations, which again, adaptation means that they're not. It's not always going to be like the book, you know. And I haven't read the Dead Zone book, but this one isn't even on. This isn't like on my. Probably isn't even on my top 10 and if it is, it's very low down. Because like it is, I think it's a well paced movie. It is shot like there is a lot of shots that look like it is a TV movie.
Yeah.
Like it goes away like like it going to like commercial or some shit, like the different moments, the scene changes and whatnot. I do like it though. I do think that they could have maybe I don't know, fleshed out the whole killer thing. Maybe there was another murder that or something else that he helped the cops with a little bit more before it went right to him moving and all that shit.
Because you kind of get, not to interrupt, but you kind of get this buddy cop vibe from Walken and Scarrett, to where you're like, oh, these guys are going to team up, they're going to be solving some shit. But then it's like, okay, we found that killer, and then it's like, nope, no more Scarrett at all. It's like,
yeah, like it's the way that there's certain moments where it's like it's kind of choppy. I feel like maybe one of the reasons why Stephen King's version of it, the script version of it, that they didn't like was maybe because it was probably too long. I mean, if you've ever seen any of his big books, it happens. I can only imagine him writing a fucking script based off one of his books. Like, huh?
You say see his big what?
His books, like they're always big. So I mean, like they're fat boys, So it wouldn't surprise me for him to write a long script and probably put way too much into it. But I also think that because you can do that in movies and shit. If you've got to cut some shit out, you don't have to have, in a writing standpoint, you don't have to have like pages upon pages trying to explain a character. Throughout the story itself, the character is explained. And I think this movie, they shaved off enough, but maybe they shaved off too much, if that makes sense. Yes. Of certain scenes or character development or whatever, because it is kind of choppy. You know the character of Johnny, and like you don't really care about these other characters, like his girlfriend and shit. Okay, all we get is she's a bitch. Like she is a bad. She wants to just make this guy. I mean, for her own selfish. Well, it's because for her own selfish actions. He doesn't want to have anything to do with that with his life the way it was. And she's like, "Oh, here I am." And it's like
selfish.
Yeah,
selfish. What are you gonna do? You gonna wait around for the rest of your life, huh? This guy's in a coma. All right, you got the prime pussy. I'm just gonna wait around for this guy. He's got a fucking vegetable. I don't even know he's coming back. I'm like, well, no, Johnny.
That's what I'm saying, though. Well, and you can't be mad at her for that, for her leaving part. The fact that she even bothers to show up and say, "Here I am. By the way, I had this great life since you've been like, in a coma for 5 years. Not to make things worse for you or nothing. Got a kid and everything. I'm married. Cut my hair off for a while. I mean, the whole conversation is just like, it's just stupid. It's selfish. It's shitty.
But that's what you want for somebody. If I was married, or I was getting married to someone, or whatever the circumstance may be, if I'm in love with that person and I died, I would want them to move on and have a good life.
Exactly.
It wasn't. I don't feel like she was trying to rub it in his face, but she was kind of trying to illustrate, like, hey,
I think she rubbed it in his face pretty good.
I'm gonna say, what's she rubbing in his face now?
She's rubbing a lot of things in his face. No, I'm not saying she's a bitch for moving on. That's not even the fucking point here. It's the fact of he's out of a coma and she's like, oh, and so she comes back into his life when there's no fucking reason to. You know what I mean? It's like
she still cares about him.
Okay, cool. And she's got a great life and he has to rebuild his. So she's over there, and that just makes a motherfucker feel worse. I mean, look how he fucking feels in the goddamn movie. She comes in, gives him what he wasn't able to fucking have, and what he can't have fucking again. And she said, we can't do this again, like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, all right. And it's a look on his face, like, it's like, I just think it's really shitty and really selfish of her. She has a family, she has a kid, she has a husband. Stay the fuck away from like the old shit, because you're just looking for bad like shit. Yeah.
Selfish? You want to talk about selfish?
Here we go.
All right. This guy who has this ability to help people. Oh, let's go back. There is a scene where he opens the fucking door, and there's stacks There's stacks of fucking letters from people who are like, help me. My animal's missing. My kid's missing. I need help. He doesn't even fucking open them.
But he doesn't want to play. He didn't choose to play God.
It's not Santa Claus.
He's not Bruce Almighty. And Bruce Almighty had issues
but
too.
He's got an ability. All right. At what point do you say, I'm not going to use this ability and not be selfish?
I mean, if it's driving your fucking mental, like, health out the fucking window. I mean, he didn't choose the fucking life. He didn't choose for that shit. Like, you can't, like again, not talking about this. We were talking about why she's a selfish bitch, but you're on this now. So
he's a selfish. These are selfish people in selfish times.
I can't really say he's that selfish. I mean, like, he still helps when he can, but I mean, like, he's also got that shit in his head constantly, never being able to greet somebody without knowing what was going to happen to them every fucking time. You accidentally bump into somebody or whatever, and like, ooh.
I don't know. I don't think you can bump. I think it's got to be a handshake.
Whatever. I mean, like, because there can't be a close relationship with another human being like ever again with what he knows. I mean, because being intimate with somebody else, and in any kind of situation like that, he's going to know things that he's going to wish he didn't know, and he not be able to say this, that, and the other for. I can see how the gift would drive somebody to be like, I don't want to have any part of this. He still helps a few people and whatever the fuck, and he's had his fucking moment. And then that's why at the end of it, he's fine with it when he fucking gets shot.
What gift? Herpes?
The gift.
I don't think that's a gift, Chad. You might have missed a day in school.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's the redemption of Johnny, because he's a selfish prick, and then he ends up saving the world. I'm going to give my life to save the world. They don't know it, but I'm going to do it because I'm Johnny.
Johnny Law. See, if he was a cop, it'd be fucking interesting. Especially after that whole copping. That's what I thought he was about to do. I thought he was going to start working for the police department all the time. But
watch the show.
Said, once that one little job was over, game over. No more Scarrett.
Well, that's pretty much what the show is he just works for the cops, and there's always some crazy thing going on. Next on USA.
I might have to check out the TV show.
It wasn't horrible. There was just other things. I wasn't really. I just remember when it would come on because it was like after wrestling and shit.
Yeah, that's why I always used to see the commercials for it.
Gentlemen, we are getting breaking news now. Breaking news: the state of North Carolina has been called for Donald J. Trump. Yes, Donald J. Trump is going to get Donald J. Trump. Wait, what was it? What did they say in the Republican? What did Hogan say? Donald Dick.
Donald Duck. Yeah, Donald Dick Duck.
He is getting 16 electoral votes from the state of North Carolina.
Big numbers.
Hey-o.
Just like Mr. King's books.
Well, there you have it. Final thoughts on the Dead Zone, gentlemen?
Decent watch.
It was fun. I'll never watch it again, but
I'll probably watch it again at some point whenever I have like my little Stephen King marathons. But there's also a lot better films based off his stuff, that I'd probably prefer to watch. But this isn't a bad one.
Like I said, I feel like it's prime for a remake. I feel like this is one of those films that you could do a lot more with nowadays. Like I said, you could turn it into a twist or however you want, but it's definitely, there's a lot of room for improvement. And I think the main thing that stands out in this film, it's not really the cinematography or anything. It's Christopher Walken. Walken always puts on a great performance, and even in this role, him to work with, but I think he does a great job. And it's one of those films, like you said, I'll probably never watch again. It's not up on my top tier movies from Stephen King, but it was worth a watch.
The very beginning, Walken couldn't walk. It's fucked up.
And you
can't walk.
And you really can't say from Stephen King because the story itself, yes, but like he didn't make the movie.
Well, look, if you look down in the fucking thing on the poster.
Yes, what's up, hi?
Hey, Jess.
Oh, what's up?
What?
If you look down on the poster down there, it says Stephen King's The Dead Zone. So
Yeah, because
because
it's based off his book, but he didn't have
Okay.
anything to do with the movie. Is all I'm saying.
Well, that's the poster, and that's his fucking name.
That's right. That's what it says. You're very correct. I'm glad that we've established that you can read, and so can I. Like I'm just saying, he didn't make that. That happens all the time. He didn't make it. Like he just, didn't have anything to do with that aspect of it. Is all I'm saying.
His script was the shittiest script of them all.
And I think that's hilarious. So I mean, whatever. The wolf is loose.
Oh, what is the other one? He says he starts freaking out. Oh fuck, I can't remember. It's every time he has these spells, he starts freaking the fuck out, and people are just like, what's going on here? What the fuck are you talking about? Like he just grabs hold of that nose. Your daughter, she's crying. The house is burning. Like, get the fuck off me.
Go now. It's like, leave my hand go, dickhead. I can't fucking move.
Did you ever see the Dead Zone SNL skit that he was on?
Oh,
where he's like,
they're doing the fucking psychic hotline type thing.
I don't know if it was. I just remember he's like a dude in the office walking around telling. He's a dude in an office walking around telling people like, "Oh, be careful! This is gonna happen."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "How do you know all this?" He's like, "I don't know. No idea. Just happened. Buy a car. Woke up. Made some movies. Foo Fighters." I just love saying it. It's funny.
Oh, before we go, it is now time for our random clip of the week. We're going to fire up the random clip generator to show us a random clip from a random movie and hope that it doesn't get us kicked off YouTube.
Fuck this cowboy shit! You fucking ho-dunk, po-dunk, well then there, motherfuckers! All you have to do is give me the goddamn key! And we could get on with our lives. All right, this property is hereby condemned.
Oh,
God damn it, Satan!
I love that movie. Fuck yeah.
You're just talking about Billy Zane.
Yeah. What's funny is that
great.
scene when I was in high school, we had, I can't remember what the class was, but the teacher was, he was an old actor. And for extra credit, if you brought in scenes to watch in the class, you get extra credit, whatever the fuck, I worded that weird. And when he told us that, I was like, what about cussing? Is it okay? And he's like, yeah, that'd be fine. So like I brought this scene in because I thought it was hilarious. And only a couple people in class thought it was funny. Everybody else was like, this is just, But I also brought in the scene from High Fidelity. Remember that one with John Cusack works in the record store, where he's imagining they're beating the shit out of Tim Robbins. At that point, the teacher was already aware that anything I brought in was going to be either gory or full of like cuss words because I could get away with it. But yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes. I love the fact that was that.
Get your chili stick out of my store.
All right, we got to get paid, so we got to run these ads. What do we got?
What do we got?
Hey everybody, Laser Trading Company is on YouTube. See some of the videos from Mike's travels and experiences. If you haven't already, please head over and subscribe. 7,800 and growing. Thank you all. Laser Trading Company is also available on eBay with various merchandise and collectibles. Hundreds of great gift ideas. That's Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. You know him from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk, and the Video Store Clerks Podcast. He is the creator of Stoner Gore. Yeah! Jack Nasty! And if you're looking for the latest in extreme horror. Head over to Amazon.com, look up Chuck Nasty, and the following titles are available. Along with the latest album, Decay of Man, from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube now.
Hell yeah.
And Bandcamp. It's also on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
That
Check
one
it out.
time at Bandcamp. To the caveman. I was really hoping that the random clip of the week was going to be from Brewster's Millions, where he vote none of the above. That's what always pops into my mind. And anytime it's a time for an election, go back and watch Brewster's Millions, and he runs on that platform of vote none of the above, because of course he's trying to spend the money. But I always said, like, you never heard of Brewster's Millions? Richard Pryor?
What? John Candy?
Yeah.
It's a fun little film. He inherits all this money, but the only way he gets it is if he spends a certain amount within a certain time. And if he doesn't spend that money, then he doesn't get the rest of it.
I don't remember it, but I remember that being the plot. I'm sure at some point when I was younger I've seen it.
Yeah, him and John Candy are minor league baseball players.
Yeah. So he's got to do all this goofy shit because he has to spend all this money, but he can't have anything to show for it. So it's like he's buying an iceberg knowing that it's going to melt, or he decides to run. I can't remember if it was for governor he was running for. And so he spends all this money on a campaign, but the campaign is vote for none of the above because he doesn't want to be elected. He just wants to spend the money on a campaign, and then because
I've got rednecky neighbors that like to be as loud as possible when they're driving.
I swear to God, I swear to God, I thought that was the ghost of Richard Nixon. Oh my God.
I am such a bitch. What?
But yeah, fun little film. He runs on the platform none of the above, and because it's like if anybody ran on that platform now, they'd win. Just like in the film, because it's like oh, these people suck. Don't vote for any of them. Vote none of the above. And then everybody loves that. They're like, yeah, these people do suck. We're going to vote for you.
All right, before we go, what are we doing next week? What's next week?
Next week is November 12th. Which means on November 16th.
I'm sorry. I'm getting word. I hate to interrupt, but I'm getting breaking word that the state of Oregon, yes, Oregon has been called for Kamala Harris. 8 electoral votes from Oregon. Please continue.
Shocker on that one.
On November 12th, 40 years ago, a little movie came out that would bring on one of the most iconic horror characters ever.
Edward Scissorhands?
40 years of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, happy day.
Fred Krueger.
So join us then. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you were number 500, hit us up.
Yeah.
We might send you a little something.
Okay,
You never know. You never know. But until then, we are your clerks, and we thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you next Tuesday.
USA.
Foo Fighters.
I swear this cowbell.